Here we go! Welcome to the Nintendo Power Zone, guys. It's your boy NyceOne, and we are back with a brand new unboxing video. And I'm having a hard time believing that these figures actually got made. So last year, during the Pokemon press conference, the Pokemon Company announced a brand new mobile game called Pokemon Quest. And what was neat about this mobile game, it was that it was going to be launching for the Nintendo Switch, and then it would drop on mobile devices at a later date. One of the things that struck me about this mobile game, other than the fact that it was launching on the Nintendo Switch first, was the art direction. It's got this very Minecraft art style, and I think it really works for Pokemon. There are not a whole lot of games that I think could have taken their aesthetics and applied them to that Minecraft art style, but surprisingly, the Pokemon Company found a way to make it work and really pull off some great designs for the original 150 Pokemon. That's the other thing about the game, is this is still kind of capitalizing on the nostalgia that Pokemon Go launched with, and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee came out with. That's another thing. Pokemon Let's Go was announced at this very same press conference, and I know a lot of people were upset initially when they heard this news, but it is what it is. I was really happy to have two Pokemon games announced in the same year, and I enjoyed Pokemon Quest. Anyway, the one thing that really struck me about the game though was this Minecraft art style design for the Pokemon, and I kept thinking to myself, wouldn't it be great if somebody took these Pokemon and made them into toys? And that's exactly what Wicked Cool Toys, the new master toy licensor for the Pokemon franchise, has done. They've taken the Pokemon Quest art style and turned them into a line of 4-inch vinyl figures. Now, there are two separate ways to get these. I got the 4 figures that you see on the left hand side of your screen at Hot Topic. They're running for about $14.99 each, and they come with Pikachu, Snorlax, Eevee, and Gengar. But on the right side of the screen, we have the GameStop exclusive 4-pack, which includes Pikachu, Snorlax, Marowak, and Gengar. Now, Marowak is the exclusive figure that you're only going to get in this 4-pack at GameStop. So if you want to have this Marowak, you gotta go to GameStop and pick up this 4-pack. And this is running for about $40. So a little bit on the expensive side these figures are, but it is what it is. Now, granted, if you want a whole set, don't do what I did. Go ahead and pick up the 4-pack from GameStop and then pick up the Eevee on the side. Unfortunately, I found the 4 figures at Hot Topic first, and then a couple days later, they released the GameStop exclusive 4-pack, so I was shit out of luck there. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at these boxes. So I want to go ahead and start with the individual figures because there's something I want to point out. The boxes for these are the same dimensions as the boxes for a Funko Pop. So if you're into collecting pops and you maybe want to branch out into these figures, aesthetically they'll go really nicely on the shelf with your Funko Pops if you're an inbox collector. And they're also roughly about the same size as a Funko Pop, standing at about 4 inches max. So this won't really hurt your shelf space if you've already dedicated shelf space for Funko Pops. So that's nice. I honestly think Wicked Cool Toys took that into account when designing the boxes for these figures. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at all the boxes for all the figures, and then we'll go ahead and start breaking these figures out of their packaging and taking a look at them more individually. And the last thing I want to make note of is that the packaging is the same for all 4 figures, with the exception of which Pokemon is on display on the front of the box. Alright guys, and here you have the GameStop exclusive 4-pack. This box is longer than the others. It's about the size of 3 boxes combined, but not a whole lot different from what you saw with the individual boxes. Relatively the same design, nothing special. My box is dinged up because obviously I got it at GameStop, and you know how that goes. Alright guys, so check it out. Pikachu is our first Pokemon out of the box, and I think this looks pretty damn good. Very representative of what you see in the game. Actually, it might be identical to what you see in the game. I'm not seeing anything that would indicate that it doesn't. I am also impressed with how much actual sculpt work is put into this figure. The cheeks are sculpted, the eyes are sculpted, the mouth is sculpted. I wasn't expecting that. I thought all of this would be paint app initially, but it's not. This is all sculpt work. So Wicked Cool Toys, good job for you, because I have not been impressed with you guys when it comes to your ability to make a high quality Pokemon toy, because yeah, you're not a proven commodity, and the toys you made for the Detective Pikachu film, they were bad, straight up. But this figure looks pretty damn good. Now, what we should make note of is that there's not a whole lot of paint application on this figure. It's pretty much the base yellow, which, you know, Pikachu should be also. This is just sculpted in yellow plastic, and the real paint application just comes from the things like the eyes and the mouth and whatnot. The things that are the little details on the figure are what get painted in. But that being said, they did a good job in painting those. So guys, I could do a description for each and every one of these Pokemon, but if I did that, this video would be about 40 minutes, and I don't want to do that. So let's just run through the figures all very quickly, and then I'll jump in when it's time to discuss the exclusive figures like the Eevee and the Marowak.
I see, because they're also cute and strong, and they are super nice, and with them I'll achieve victory.
Alright guys, here it is, the GameStop exclusive Marowak. Now, from head on, this is a very crappy looking figure. This is one of the few occasions where the art style doesn't really work for the figure. But when you start looking at it from the side, it is pretty cool, and I'm kind of glad GameStop got a different figure for their 4-pack. It gives you incentive. On the flip side, this is a way to extort money from people. I personally bought the 4 figures that I found first at Hot Topic, and then I went to GameStop a few days later and found the exclusive bundle. So yeah, I paid for the same figures twice. Alright guys, check it out. So now we have the Eevee, which is not an exclusive figure. This is part of the main line, but it is the only other figure that's different between the individual releases and the exclusive GameStop 4-pack. I really like the design of Eevee, and they did a really good job in the way it's sculpted, because this one is a lot more angular, especially with the ears and the tail, as you'll see soon when we look at it from a different angle. I also love the fact that Eevee is now a priority for every toy manufacturer, and that's only because the character's popularity has gone up so much over the last 2 years, and that's due to the fact that Game Freak has put such a priority on it with the Let's Go games. And yeah, it's kind of cool that the Pokemon franchise now has a secondary mascot. I said that in my last unboxing video when I unboxed the Funko Pop Eevee. I think the same applies here. Eevee is a top priority now. It's time to get used to it, guys. So check it out. Here we have all 5 figures outside of their packaging side by side, and they look really great. And again guys, I told you I love this art style, and I think the Pokemon Company does too, or maybe Game Freak does, because if you've played Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, if you go to Celadon City and go into the department store, you will see that there is a room that's dedicated to video games, and in that room you will see posters for Pokemon Quest that depict Pikachu and Eevee, which I think are super cool. But that's not the only recent game that showcases Pokemon Quest if you've played Pokemon Sword and Shield, when you create your trainer card, you also have the option to customize your trainer card to feature artwork from Pokemon Quest, which is fantastic, and I've gone ahead and done that for you, so take a look. So guys, I've shown you two cases where you can clearly see the Pokemon Company is pimping the Pokemon Quest art style. Anyway, let's go ahead and move into comparison time, alright guys? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we went ahead and grabbed the 10-inch Funko Pop Eevee that released last week, and we're putting it side by side next to this vinyl Pokemon Quest from Wicked Cool Toys, and take a look at them side by side. They are completely separate art styles for Pokemon, but they're very cool. They're in the same format, vinyl toys, which I absolutely love collecting, and yeah, not a whole lot to compare these figures to because they are unlike any other Pokemon toy we have ever seen before, but it's a neat artistic vision that the Pokemon Company has for Pokemon going forward, in the sense that they're trying to make Pokemon very malleable, and I think when you look at these two things side by side, you really catch that vibe. Alright guys, it is score time, my favorite time. Why? Because I get to tell you whether or not something is actually worth your hard-earned money. So the individual packs of figures will run you back about $14.99. I found my set at Hot Topic, but if you want the exclusive 4-pack, you're going to have to go to GameStop, and you would really only go there as if you desperately need this Marowak over the Eevee. And this will run you back about $40. If you really want to have the full set, what I recommend doing is going to GameStop, getting the bundle, and then going to Hot Topic and picking up the Eevee separately, because yeah, there are only 5 figures in the series, with the Marowak being the exclusive figure in the bunch. So guys, let's go ahead and start with the appearance of the figures because I am thoroughly impressed. This is one of the best translations from pixel to plastic I have seen in such a long time. This is extremely representative of what you see in the game, and in fact I wouldn't be surprised if the Pokemon Company just gave them the CG models to make these figures from. Would not be surprised at all because they are flawless when it comes to their design. What really comes into play here, in the bad stuff I have to say about these figures, is that they are really cheaply made. This is some low quality vinyl. The matte paint finish is really kind of off-putting, and that sucks because I think if Wicked Cool Toys had just dedicated a little bit more time and effort to making these high quality figures, these would fly off shelves, especially for fans of Pokemon, and more so to people who actually enjoyed Pokemon Quest as a mobile title. It is what it is. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and give these figures a score of a 6.5 out of 10. They do not get our Nintendo Power Zone seal of quality, despite the fact that I love the way they look. I really can't recommend them. I think for what they are super expensive, and that's not fair to collectors, and it's definitely not fair to fans of Pokemon. I think Tomy, who had the Master Toy license before Wicked Cool Toys, was doing a phenomenal job with the Pokemon line, and Wicked Cool Toys just hasn't done enough with the line. They've made some ugly figures. Not these figures, but they've made ugly figures for films like Detective Pikachu and just their regular base Pokemon line. But it is what it is, guys. Hopefully they don't get to keep the toy license for too long, but I'm pretty sure it's like a 7-year deal, which kind of sucks. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of your hair, but before I let you go, guys, I got to hit you up with these social media links. You can hit me up on Twitter at NyceOne983. You can email me at NyceOne983@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Facebook, facebook.com/NintendoPowerZone. If you are a fan of the Nintendo Power Zone podcast, you can always download new episodes on iTunes, Google Play Music, stream new episodes on Spotify and Stitcher Radio. But if you want to watch the live version of the show, you got to catch me right here on YouTube, youtube.com/NintendoPowerZone. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, stay fresh. Deuces!